Okay, so as most of you solos know out there, playing solo on Rust is about the hardest thing you could do. On Rust Console Edition anyways, everyone's just zerged up, there's giant squads everywhere, and you're trying to get a decent start as a solo, and you're getting crapped on by like 12-man zergs, and there's really nothing you can do. What I encounter most of the time, which I'm sure most of you encounter as well, is you got a bow and you're trying to get a start. And then there's all these no-life, like 12-man zergs that are pulling up full metal kits, MP5, LR, all this crap. So today, I just kind of want to show you guys my safest method for getting a decent start. I honestly think this is my go-to method, like the absolute safest and just best method for getting the best start. This method that I'm going to show you, it makes it where you really don't have to get into many gunfights or anything. You'll be able to get your starter base up and running pretty quickly with this method. So essentially, all you want to do is spawn in, it doesn't matter where you spawn, and just start instantly going for barrels and crates along the roads and like under these big towers like this. Literally just pick up anything you can. So while we're hitting all the barrels, we're going to be making our way over to Outpost, which is right there, so it's not that far from me. And I would advise going down the road because you'll probably get more loot that way, but it's also a little riskier. But at the same time, you have nothing to lose. So while you're running over to Outpost, make sure you're picking up everything. You're hitting barrels, getting all the crates, pick up any stone or wood that you see on the ground. Definitely pick up cloth too. That's an essential off the start. A lot of the time as you're hitting these barrels and getting crates too, you'll get a lot of clothing. Like I already got a face mask, and that will definitely help you out with your start. And make sure you don't skip these barrels either, the ones that give you low grade fuel and everything. You're gonna need all of the low grade you can get so you can make furnaces for your starter base. But if you can't find any of those barrels, don't worry about it. You can buy it from Outpost for like dirt cheap. In a perfect world, it'd be nice if you open a crate and could find at least like a melee weapon, if not like a bow or something. But I'm usually not that lucky, so we'll have to see. If you wanted to stop on your way and mine like a stone node or something, or knock down a tree or two, you could and craft a bow, but I'm not going to focus on that because with the method that I'm doing, all your loot will be safe, so essentially you don't have to fight at all. I know a lot of people know the method that I'm about to show, but this take that I have on it, I did a couple modifications so it would be at its absolute best on console version at least. I would break barrels until you just absolutely can't break them anymore, like your rock breaks. So now that you're in the Outpost, you want to go and find the recycler in here. Get out of my way, what the heck? And just put everything in the recycler that you can. Okay, now that I'm done scrapping, this is everything I got from it. And most of the time, you would have a little bit more if you're running down the road because there's more barrels and then more crates that you can hit up to. I had to run through the snow where there wasn't a single road nearby or anything because I got a bad spawn. But hopefully you're luckier with your spawn and can hit up some more areas. So most of the time when you recycle, you'll at least have like a couple things that'll get you a little bit of wood, or you'll pick up some wood on the way here. And so with that, you want to make sure you go and refine your crude oil. Okay, so just like that, the crude oil is done smelting and I have 180 low grade. That's pretty good for your start. And all I did was literally hit like 2 of the red barrels or something. It's insane how much you get from that. If you're not lucky enough to find a lot of red barrels on your way here or something, you can come to this shop and you can see down at the bottom, it's 5 scrap for 25 low grade. And you only need 50 low grade to make a furnace. So, I mean, that's 10 scrap right there. That's dirt cheap. So if you're like me and you're solo at the start, you hate going out and farming for stuff, like going and mining and hitting trees because people will always just gang up on you and kill you when you're defenseless and there's nothing you can do about it. So I like to come to Outpost with my scrap and I will go and buy stone and wood from here. Usually off the rip, you want to just buy a lot of wood and just make your whole base wood. And then as you get more scrap, you can come back and buy stone, or you can just go out and farm it since you have a base to put all your stuff in. But the first thing I like to do is get my base down. So with all the scrap that I had from just hitting a tiny bit of barrels down the road, I now have 4,328 wood, which should easily build me like a 2x1. If you want to go the route where you don't have to PvP too much off your start, you can try to build as close as you can to Outpost. Just build a little starter base, because you're going to be going to Outpost a lot to get like materials like I showed you here. You're going to come by a lot of wood and stone. And then a really good tip that I actually like using a lot is if you have enough cloth to make a sleeping bag, then step right outside of the safe zone and place your sleeping bag down, and then you can come back in the safe zone and you can just press start and kill and respawn, and your body bag will spawn in here and no one else can loot it but you, and it won't disappear for a long time. I think it's like 30-45 minutes or something like that. So while you're going out and like farming up some resources or something, you can leave your loot here and it'll be safe for about 45 minutes. So you can essentially just get your loot. You can go out and get your stuff to build a base and then come back and grab all your loot when you have your base up. But you got to make it pretty quick. Unfortunately, right now I only have 15 cloth and there's not much cloth around since it's snow. So I can't place a sleeping bag down, so I'm just going to take the wood I have and build a quick starter base like right outside the walls of Outpost. So again, if you're absolutely new to the game and don't know how to build, you want to go over to crafting, build a building plan and a hammer, and then you're going to need a TC and at least one wood door and a lock. A pro tip, make sure to lock your TC in case you get raided. They can't grief you and lock you out of your TC. They'll have to destroy it, so make a lock for your TC as well if you have the resources. Luckily from scrapping earlier, I have 240 metal frags, so I can go ahead and use that to make a sheet metal door. And essentially before you get off on your first day of wipe, you're going to want a sheet metal door, because if you have a wood door, it can get raided so easily. It can get raided by a flamethrower, someone can take a yoke of pistols and just mow it down. It's super easy to raid, so you definitely want a sheet metal door and preferably an all stone base before you get off. Otherwise, you are most likely going to get raided on your first night. So with this method, like I was saying earlier, you can die in the safe zone and your loot will be fine. So like right here, you can look at the bottom right, it says I'm in the safe zone still. So if I died right here, I could go and build my base up there and just come down here to grab my loot and go right back up. There you go, just like that, you have your first little starter base here. This definitely isn't strong enough to survive the night, so you're gonna have to get everything stone and then maybe expand if you can, or add more doors. But for right now, just starting out, it literally took me like maybe 15 minutes and I got my starter base up. I have a lot of stuff ready to go. I have furnaces ready to build with 180 low grade. And I have almost 5 days of upkeep for this base. So as of right now, I'm good on everything. All I need is stone to upgrade this and then I'm chilling. So with this little bit of wood, you might want to make a small chest at least, just to store a couple things that won't go in the TC in, like this building plan and hammer. I'll just store that right here. So as soon as you get enough cloth, I would advise to slap down a sleeping bag in your base. So if you die, you can just respawn here and won't have to make the run again. Okay, so now all we need to do is upgrade this to stone. So if you want to do that the easiest way, you can go and get scrap again like you did earlier and just go buy a whole lot of stone from Outpost. Okay, so I have 2,589 wood. So you go to this shop and there's this option right here. You get 150 stone for 500 wood. So there's 750 stone from all that wood I just got. And essentially while you're out getting wood, you want to make sure you're still hitting barrels and getting crates. And you could go and use the scrap that you get from that to buy more stone. I'll use what I can of this stone and make a pickaxe and then upgrade my base with the rest. And with that pickaxe, I'll just go out mining. You don't have to get everything from Outpost, it's just a lot easier and safer that way. So while I was out trying to mine stone, I found some more crates. So you'll just take the contents out and hit the barrels too. And there's some more scrap for you to go and buy more stone with. I think you might need 50 scrap at least to buy any stone at all. And like I said earlier, make sure you are picking up the stone on the ground too, because it doesn't look like much, but they actually add up a lot. Once you build your furnaces for your starter base, you can go out and start mining metal along with your stone. But I'm not focused on the metal right now. I really just want to get stone to secure my base because I'm about to have to get off anyways. so I can at least have one sheet metal door and my whole base stone before I get off. I would highly recommend that you have more than just one door, because one door is kind of easy to door raid, but if that's all you can do before you get off, that's at least better than just a wood door. Oh, screw off. See, that's the good thing about being by outpost right there. Someone tries to run up and kill you, you can just take off to outpost, and since they already shot, they can't come near this place because it will mow them down. I know this is kind of like a pussy method of doing it, but when you're a solo against like zergs and crap all in these servers like it has been, it's not fair. So you almost have to do stuff like this to survive as a solo. You can also get 25 scrap and buy 250 metal frags, which is actually amazing. And just from scrapping the stuff that I got down the road, I got 263 metal frags, and I barely even hit any barrels. I almost have 2,000 stone as well, just from mining a couple nodes and picking stuff up as I went. Okay, so with the stone, we got everything upgraded. I still need to get this floor, but I'm about to go and buy some more stone from Outpost with the scrap I have. I added a door frame here, so whenever I smelt the rest of the metal ore that I have in here, I can get metal frags and make a double door, and we'll have 2 sheet metal doors to get to the TC room. And I accidentally upgraded that to metal, which I really didn't mean to do, but that's just more protection, I guess. Okay, so now that we have 50 scrap, we can come in here and buy 1,000 stone with it. There we go. With that 1,000 stone, I'm going to finish upgrading my base and make a furnace so I can get sheet metal doors. There we go, the whole base is upgraded to stone now, and then one metal piece. If you recycled an outpost after a scrapping run, you'd probably have enough to make more doors, but I don't have time to go on a scrapping run, so I'm just gonna smelt some stuff real quick. Okay, we got enough smelted so we can make a sheet metal double door. And do not forget to build your lock. You always need a lock on every single door or TC that you make. Okay, now that you have the doors, you place them there. Place your lock, and there you go. This kind of makes a makeshift airlock until you get more resources to make an actual airlock, so people can't come running in your base if that's open. But now if they want a door raid, they have to go through that sheet metal door, and then they have to go through the double sheet metal door, and then they can get to TC. You definitely want to expand your base as soon as you can, or add honeycomb to this TC room so they can't just blow through one wall and be there. If this is like absolute first day of wipe and no one's got anything yet, you're gonna survive the night with this base. That's all I got for you guys today. That's just the best start, I think, personally, for a solo, because there's no PvP and it's almost 100% safe most of the time. The only thing that's gonna be sketchy that you might have PvP in is if you're getting wood from trees or going out mining. And essentially you don't even have to do that really. You can just get barrels and crates and go and use a scrap to buy resources. That way is a little bit harder, but it's a lot safer. But this method as a solo keeps you from dying to just zergs everywhere, and you don't have to mess with them. You can get your base slapped down and not worry about it until you actually start getting guns or start exploring monuments more. So I hope this helped you out, guys, and especially for you newer people to the game, if you're just starting out and you're getting crapped on, I hope this is a good method that will help you guys progress. Because as soon as you get the starter base down and you start exploring monuments, that's where your luck starts changing around. You'll start getting weapons, blueprints, and you'll progress a lot more. You just need to get that starter base down, and that's a solid footprint for you. But anyways, if you guys have any further questions or have any other tips that you'd like to give people, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new. I'll be posting more Rust content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.